Hello, I am Chris from thesixfactors.com, and I am joined today by Tef. Say hello, Tef.
Hello.
And we are here to talk about Call of Duty Black Ops 3's multiplayer. This is one of 3 videos we've got going up today. The other 2 talking about the game's campaign mode and the game's zombies mode. So if those are the elements that interest you more, then you're probably better off going and watching those videos rather than this one. But we are going to talk all about the multiplayer. Tef, is this just like Advanced Warfare and more of that, or is it different?
It kind of is, but at the same time it isn't. The overall feel is definitely very much along the Advanced Warfare kind of route. You've got the same kind of mobility, like a lot of the map design is all focused around being able to wall run and double jump and stuff like this. But there are a few differences. And
I do like wall running.
Wall running is awesome. I don't know why people don't like wall running. Some people are just strange.
It's weird.
There's subtle differences though. So Advanced Warfare, it was all about like having a solid like double jump. You saw like tap X, and then you tap X again, and you've got a second leap, a second arc. And here it's more about momentum, and you've got like a meter which drains, so you can have a big strong single burst, or you can have something a slightly smaller boost touch. It recharges over time, so as you're wall running you might not have enough charge to make the next jump that you need in order to keep going. And so there are slight differences, and there's some slight nuances to how you're going to get around the world. But the overall idea is pretty similar to Advanced Warfare.
So I've been hearing plenty about the specialists in this game, so do you want to expand on those a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, that's the other big new element. Instead of like full customization that you had in Advanced Warfare, you've got like 9 specific characters to choose from, and each one's got a variant, so they've all got 2 particular abilities that you can pick from, one of which is more offensive, one of which is more defensive. So I forget the name, but there's one guy who's basically completely turned himself into a robot. He's even got like a kind of vocoder box.
Awesome.
So he's like, "Hello, I am a robot." That's
a pretty good robot voice.
I practiced it over the last few days, an awful lot. No. His 2 abilities are he can either turn one of his hands into a minigun, or if you pick the other variant of him, and like you can't switch during a match. So this is like you pick him, and that's it. The other variant of him, he can create 3 light-formed decoys, whilst also disguising himself as a light-formed decoy. So you can really quite effectively get the drop on the other team.
Nice.
I think it's nice that the specialists exist, because they sort of add another layer to the loadout system, which is the same kind of pick 10 system which we had in, I think that was in Black Ops 2 that first came in, was it? Or was it the first Black Ops?
It might be in the first Black Ops, but I know what you mean. Yeah,
so it's another layer of that without adding an extra specific slot into the loadout system. It also gives people. Everybody has got these special abilities which are separate to like score streaks. So they give everyone a bit of an advantage. It adds a little something to the overall gameplay and the overall blends that you're going to see as you're going through.
Nice. But with these specialists, are we talking like no customization now?
But it's just reduced from what you could do in the last couple of games. So your character is always going to look roughly the same, but you can unlock skins, you can unlock like different heads, and then they might have like a particular helmet on, or like Rambo style like face paint on and camouflage and stuff like that. So there's the 9 soldiers to pick from, and you can then twist those a little bit, and you've also got some visual variety from the unlocks in the black market as well.
So what's the black market? I have actually heard nothing about, so tell me all about it.
Well, the black market is the new loot drop system.
Oh, okay,
so,
right.
Again, referring back to Advanced Warfare, you had lots and lots and lots of loot drops, and these were always crates, and you open a crate and you get a different variant of a gun, or a different shader, or something like this. Black Ops 3 takes that idea but restricts it to purely cosmetic items. So it's like the player card for when you're loading in, pieces for custom icons which are like really, really heavily customizable. A few different skins maybe. I think each character has got 3 black market skins that can be unlocked.
Yeah. But just to be clear here, you're not going to be able to like completely boss the game because you've got a particularly good black market loot drop.
No, not at all. You can unlock certain gun attachments, but these are they are cosmetic variants of those gun attachments. So player progression it's still very much in the pick 10 system, and playing with particular guns to rank up and get the experience with those guns, which then let you unlock the particular attachments for it. So I talked in the single player mode about this ridiculous gun which I had unlocked and created, and this custom sniper rifle, fast fire, hollow sight, suppressor, all of that nonsense. I was just
lovely.
I really want to have this. I really want to have this in multiplayer. This is going to be a ridiculously good gun in multiplayer. But in order to get to that point, we did play an awful lot of custom games where there's no limits to what you can do. So I was able to recreate it. But in the ranked matches, you have to play with this particular gun.
But so you can't just instantly make a ridiculously overpowered gun.
No, and I mean, I'm saying that it's a ridiculously powerful gun, and it is, but it's difficult to know if it's overpowered.
Okay.
I mean, balance is always really, really difficult to judge, and there's always going to be a particular loadout which is much better than whatever someone that's new to the game can come up with. You're always going to be able to find a gun which you prefer and which you like to play with, and it's just finding your own particular play style. So I'm not sure about the balance, but we will see. And that obviously Treyarch aren't going to just abandon this game. They're going to come in, they're going to rebalance things over the next few months. Definitely.
Okay, so obviously you've talked about ranked matches and then the custom matches, but what are the specific game modes that you can actually play?
You've got basically all of the fan favourites, all the usual ones. So Team Deathmatch, Capture the Flag, the Uplink, which is the one with the satellite ball, which you have to dunk into this big floating ball thing. Yeah,
I played a little bit of that at EGX. It was good fun.
Yeah, it's just one flag, capture the flag, but it's a nice twist on things. You've got gun game, search and destroy, kill confirmed, all of these. There's also a new one where you have to escort a robot, and so there's attack and defense, and you have to escort this robot through the map to a particular objective point, and that was quite a clever one.
Obviously, a big part of gaming now is the growing esports scene. How does Call of Duty cater to that?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of this actually came from Call of Duty in the first place, didn't it? So what they've added is Codcaster is basically it's a spectator camera mode, so that you broadcast a particular game, and maybe you're shoutcasting over the top. I don't know. The main mode is that there's also a competitive game mode, and this is interesting because it's not just you're playing Search and Destroy. It is that you're playing Search and Destroy with another kind of metagame layer. So you've got, in the run-up to the game actually starting, you've got a protect and ban stage where you go through the players in order. One player from each team at a time picks a particular gun, a particular specialist variant, a particular ability, that kind of thing, and you choose whether to protect it or ban it. So you can get really, really quite tactical with knowing what your team wants to play as, what gun they want to use, that kind of thing.
That's a fascinating meta layer, actually. I can see when people get really good, that's going to be really interesting, because you've got to know what your weaknesses are as well as what your strengths are, and try and ban your weaknesses.
Yeah, and also just what character has the most effective player on the other team been playing as?
Yeah.
Well, we'll just get rid of that, because then they don't have the minigun arm, or they don't have the the crazy revolver, which is one hit kills. They don't have that. Then the second step is the specialist draft, and so this kind of puts the ever so slight MOBA twist onto things, where you can only have one of each particular character on your team.
Oh, I like this.
So again, it's playing to your strengths and making sure that you've got complementary characters.
Yeah, that's really interesting. And I guess the protect and ban thing also forces you. What I like with that is it forces you to be good at the whole game. You can't pick one character and be I'm amazing with this character, because then the opposition would just be well, we banned him.
Well, yeah, but it could be that if you are only good at this, then the first person on your team is going to protect him.
Yeah,
to give you that advantage personally. I mean, obviously, the one thing is that because stuff is being banned and basically cut out of the game, there has to be a stage where you can tweak your loadout and adjust so that you don't start off with like all 10 of your pick 10 slots filled, and then you come out of it and then you've basically got nothing because everything's been banned.
Yes.
So you do have a chance to tweak your loadouts, and
that's reasonable.
Yeah.
Well, that all sounds really interesting, particularly the protect and ban stuff. But have you got any final thoughts before we wrap this video up?
Yeah, I mean, it's as I started off, it's taking the Advanced Warfare style of free movement and that kind of gameplay, and it's putting a slight twist on it. If you want Modern Warfare 2 again, then this is not the game for you. But if you liked Advanced Warfare, this is an interesting, like, tangential, like, it's sort of like running on parallel tracks. Let's say the two teams have obviously had some similar ideas, and maybe collaborated on some of these ideas. I think if there's one weakness, it's maybe that some of the maps don't give you the best use out of your ability to double jump and stuff.
Yeah.
So they're obviously designed with the idea that you can wall run. That is crystal clear all the way throughout. But there's also, like, when you've got a map which has got, like, rock formations to, like, give you paths to walk through, and it's just odd how you can't just jump over them. There's sort of like these invisible walls kind of thing, and it's just ever so slightly restrictive. And I know why they've done it. It's because you have to have a particular flow and design to the map, but it just doesn't feel quite natural to have like, oh, my buddy is downed on the other side of this, and so I can just hop over. Oh no, I can't. There's an invisible wall.
Yeah.
But I mean, beyond that one real complaint, it's just a really solid overall package. I like the idea of the specialists, what they do to the loadouts, the gameplay, the different game modes, even the competitive stuff. I think I'd actually quite like to play that outside of a competitive setting, just because it's got the idea of like banning and protecting and stuff like that.
Yeah, I really like that.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's going to do it for this look at the multiplayer side of Call of Duty Black Ops 3. As I said earlier, we also have 2 other videos going out today, one on the campaign side of things and one on the zombies mode, so if those interest you, then go and check them out. But for now, I've been Chris, I've been joined by Tef. Say goodbye, Tef.
Goodbye.
It's a draw. Stand down.
Outcome, hostile victory denied. Full metal everything.